Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the NFT morning. Today is June 24th, actually, and it's the very special NFT morning because this is the monthly edition of the 100 collectors morning, 100C morning. I can see Remy applauding, and we have the chance to be, yeah, we are happy because we've been living an exciting week in Basel last week. It was a art week slash almost a digital art week in Basel, and we have the chance to be with Eleonora Brizzi. How are you, Eleonora?
Good.
Good.
Recovering.
Recovering. It's hard to recover. It's been pretty intense. I would say this year has been intense, actually. and Pauline Fossel, how are you, Pauline?
Same. I'm exhausted.
We are exhausted now. Yeah, I feel exhausted, and when I see you, I say, yeah, how they've been. I need to let you know, I was in Basel last week, and 100 Collector was everywhere, every day, every time, like organizing from breakfast to tours to party to dinner to whatever. Yeah, I don't know how you feel. Even just following you was already intense, so I can imagine how it is to organize it. And no, it's been a lot, I can imagine. And so, Pauline, I can see you are wearing a beautiful 010 cap. So,
I had to.
I wanted.
Of the discussion, I thought like I'm going to wear the swag,
Oh yeah, it's actually.
I want the same.
You want the same?
They are sold out.
But she can sell it to you.
Secondary market. Let's start a secondary market on 010 hats.
Let's organize an auction. Okay. So no, but yeah,
guys, I just want to introduce that I'm very jealous because I saw almost lots of things happened in Basel last week. So I wasn't there, unfortunately, but I'd like to hear from you about this fair.
Okay, yeah. For people who have not followed, because I think let's start with this. I don't know, maybe Pauline, you can introduce just quickly, give us the big picture of. Maybe I will not say. I don't know if we need to say what is Art Basel, but it's Art Basel in Basel. It's something very special, and maybe give us the context information about what happened last week, basically.
Yeah. Well, as you know, Art Basel is in the name. So you probably heard about Art Basel, Hong Kong, Miami, Paris, now Qatar, but it started in Basel, right? So this is like the hometown of that the biggest fair in the world. So meaning like the whole city kind of transform and becomes really an art place, which is quite different from, even if you think like Miami, Hong Kong, Art Basel is very present when it happens, I think like it's incomparable to when it's Art Basel in Basel, because the whole city is flooded with art professional artists, collectors, and probably the best exhibitions that you can see as well. And yeah, this happened last week. This was the third edition of 010 that started in December in Miami last year, that continued in Hong Kong this year, but the very first time in Basel, right? So it was kind of a big deal because it's a fair that is quite institutional, if I can say. Actually, cross the road to 010, you have a section called Unlimited. This is the only fair that has this section. And this section is for example, very monumental work that are most of the time acquired by institutions. So it's really the next level art fair you can get out there.
Yeah, it's a big deal, and so as you mentioned, 010, that is so the digital sector of Art Basel, was initiated in Miami in December, that followed in Hong Kong in February, March, something. March, exactly. Ended up in Basel. So it's the third edition of 010, but we're still in the first year of 010, I would say, for this Basel edition. And I think, Eleonora, this 010, because I know that you've been in Hong Kong, who's been in
And
Miami? You've been in Miami, so you are the
Yeah.
010. You are wow, super.
I'm the 310. Yeah.
So what is the difference this year, this time, for the, I would say, for the digital art in Art Basel?
Yeah, we talked about this when we did our 100 collectors tour at 010 as an introduction, like about the differences, in fact, of the 3010. It's interesting because we always have been talking about the differences between the different Art Basels, and like an art fair also obviously mirrors the city where it happens and like the cultural scenes of where it happens. So like you have Miami, you have like the US, Asia, and Europe, and it's very different. First, because obviously like in older times, they were supposed to represent and give you an overview of the actual like places where you were going. Like today it doesn't happen anymore because of social media and the internet. But like 25 years ago, if you were going to like Hong Kong, maybe 25 years ago wasn't there, but like years ago, if you were going to Art Basel Hong Kong, it will probably be the only way that you really have like a quick way to have access to like the Asian market. So like starting, like you had to go there. Now everything changed. But so starting from there already, that they're representing different realities, and then everything got more globalized. But still, these fairs, although it's one fair happening in different places, maintain like its own character. So in Miami, 010 pretty much like mirrored already the character of their own Art Basel. So I would say that in Miami, the sector was very very bold, very loud, very like, okay, this is who we are. We are like playful, speculative, like participatory. Like we do participatory art. We put our artists in the booth, and like you can play with us. So it was a little bit like of a statement. Obviously very accepted by Art Basel, otherwise you will never be there. But like a way, like a little bit of a manifesto, I would say, to say like this is where we're coming from. We have like the Beeple dogs, and then we have Jack Butcher receipt. We have X-Copy giving out like soap bubbles. So of course it's like, what is this? People are like, okay, this is like a playground, which was very nice. And so there was a very specific vibe that you can probably only have in Miami, where you can bluntly talk about speculation, which you can probably not do in Basel. So then I went to Hong Kong, and Art Basel in Hong Kong also has always been very, like balanced and not risky. It's also like the mirroring Asian culture, right? Like it's always very nice, very well done, very, very balanced. So in Hong Kong, you will still have our like signature projects like the bottle booth. You still have like Jack Butcher playing with dices, but then you have So Wen with the beautiful like robotic arm. So it starts to be more like really like when I say like fine art, I want to say like art that can actually enter like a museum for how people like commonly see that. You had, I don't know, Robert Tallis coming with like paintings. So it was balanced between performance and like Web3, but also like fine art. And then you had Basel, which was very different. And it was very, I mean, you saw Basel. So you have a dedicated space and it is very much institutional. It was like you enter with the three flags by John Gerard, who is already like a pretty established artist, as a digital artist, and like massively welcoming you when you enter in the space. And then you go around this arena and you see, and then like there is the legitimation of the space. So at least two booths talking about the history of digital art. Because obviously also like Art Basel is in Basel, Switzerland. So there is a whole history of new media art. So they couldn't just like throw, like, I guess, soap bubbles, unfortunately. And so you have this booth that are like, they want to guide you through, okay, digital art has been existing since the 50s. And so you have like art meta, like starting from the pioneers, divided in chapters, arriving until today. You had a Vera Molnar booth. And then you also have artists like Death Beef, who is very blockchain and Web3 if you want, but then in the booth like shows, he's like also physical craft of like steel. And so like the craft of materiality and code. So, and then you have like a whole huge booth about Harold Cohen, like artists at the father of AI art. At least this is how it was like shown at the Whitney Museum. So he's an artist who comes with a solo exhibition. It's like it was, accepted, exhibited, and pushed also by huge institutions at the Whitney Museum. So my feeling was that in Basel would be more like, okay, we need to be now like accepted and give reasons to the audience to legitimize what we're doing. So this was like Basel,
Yeah,
I think.
I think it's a okay. I think it okay. It would be a very hard morning because I have 1,000 things to share and say, and we will not have time for it. It's opened a lot of questions to me. But yeah, so my summary is that yeah, this Art Basel, and I think Eli Scheinman did a tweet about it yesterday to say no, we cannot deny the affiliation between what you call the new media art, basically, or people used to call that computer art before even, and the blockchain slash AI art that is the new generation, basically, of digital artists. And so yeah, the space, I think it was pretty well. Everybody was doing a small step in other one direction, to make it feel like it's a consistent space, basically. And as you mentioned, almost small museal part with Art Meta, Georg Bach booth, with about I don't know, maybe 50 different pieces of digital art history from the 60s, 70s to today, to William Mapan or Dev Bees, with art that can really talk to what we, basically physical art collectors, something that at the first eye, looks aesthetically, match with the aesthetical codes of current art, basically. And then, that's interesting. But also in terms of space, it was a dedicated area, 010, but this area was just in front. So you have the main entrance of Art Basel, and if you go on the left, you had like basically the traditional fair with Art Basel, with also the new galleries, and with Unlimited, and in front of it a dedicated strong signage. Actually, it's very something that you cannot miss. Was 010, like it's very central, and they keep using 010 as a strong communication asset, I believe. So that's, and to finish the summary, I think it was, I don't know, what do you think? But I think it was a success.
I think so. Pauline, you want to talk?
Yeah, I believe it was a success. Like you had a big queue actually when when it opened. So this was very great to see. I've seen other posts during the weekend as well. Weekend is more like public days, right? So during the public days, you also had a lot of people interested, and I think like it's also great to have traffic coming and seeing. I think I don't really know what people thought about the space, if it was a good thing to not be in the main fair, or so it has. I personally think this was great, simply because the way the space is organized is so different than in the main fair, where it's like really booth after booth and you are like just fed art. At least here there is like that breathing space where you can really discover one thing after the others. I mean, a lot of the booths are solo projects as well. This kind of remains from the previous 010. So it's really nice because you have so much more than what you get in the main fair. Is like one work, one artist, right? And you have like, I don't know, many artists per booth. At least here it really gives you a nice place to breathe and get to know the artist's work with not just one work, right? I thought like this distinction, I think marketing wise is very smart, because it is very, very present, and unlimited, like where unlimited is really something people really go to, so they could definitely not miss 010, as it was right in front. I think it was a success. I personally am a little sad we lost the fun part, because I love the fun. For me, it's that's who I am. I love the engagement. I love like that the artists really think the booth in the engagement of showing their work. For me, this is essential. And I know it's an art fair, and I know, I've done art fairs for the past 15 years, so I know what it is. But I actually thought from the previous edition that they subvert the art fair, and I thought this was magic. Finally you could go and stay and wanted to come back and have a different experience and really stay there, because the artists were there, but not only, because you had things to actually do to really understand the work. And I think like it's probably a movement that is not so easy to grasp in general. We all know that, because the technology is a barrier, and I'm talking about the general public. And I think the engagement somehow was really bringing like, just like giving your hand to people and bringing them in for them to understand. And I was sad of not seeing this so much. You had it a bit with Dev Beef, where you could, play with the machine, but that one. But it was very, very, very timid, very shy, like the whole thing.
Yeah, I kind of I think actually my favorite booths were the most interactive one, I would say. So the Dev Beef one, and maybe the William Mapan, because you have a live plotter.
Exactly.
And live minting, it's kind of part of the, I would say the DNA of IRL event for NFT people. I would say the ability to generate live something and potentially mint it.
Yeah.
I think we need to mention that commercially, it's a huge success.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Eli published the sales yesterday. I'm trying to show some of the one, your article actually, like your article. Every time I need to tell everybody, check 100 collectors. It's, I think, in terms of documentation, in terms of information, it's just ultra complete. And so you can see all the videos of all the booths. Actually, I'm watching the William Mapan one that I mentioned. So, it really looks like super, it's very, I was on the booth a lot of times because they are my friends from Art Blocks. And
these ones were amazing as well.
Yeah, it was super
nice.
Created on site.
Exactly. And then you can see the plotter, and it was a very interesting plotter, because it's not a plotter, it's a machine. and we can see, with different pens turning around to draw something. Yeah, very interesting. But in terms of sales, yeah, William Mapan sold out in like 45 minutes. This big piece that we can see here, that is like 80K or 70K plus 5 pieces of 30-ish K each. Plus, yeah, he sold out everything. Of course, the big sale is the John Girard one that he did with Fellowship. So he sold this triptych. It's a famous artwork. It's his emblematic artwork, kind of with the flags, and yeah, actually, it's interesting. It's real. It's digital art. It's real time, and so he sold it for $500,000. And yeah, I think Dave Beast has been said. You can check the article from Eli Scheinman. Commercially, it's a huge success, I think.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Rem?
There was.
No, yeah. I just had a question about this big sales. Everyone heard about this. Do you think they were planned in advance, or did they just happen on site?
I think it's a good question. I don't know. I know that the collector of the big piece of John Gerard, that for 500,000, is a big collector from New York, collecting a lot of NFTs actually. So yeah, maybe.
But I just ask this question because I imagine when you're a collector and you are going to buy this kind of a piece of art, it's not just I would say a coup de cœur.
A crush. Yeah.
Probably the very big sales were planned, but like we were discussing with William, for example, and he was telling us like the first hour of 010 when it opened, like you had like so much people on his booth that said, I want this. So this was kind of decided probably on the spot, like maybe not a big piece, I don't know, but he was explaining like no, for 45 minutes it was just people buying, so
Yeah.
I think there's also pre-sales. There is also pre-sales.
Yeah. I think it's
that
a
I
mix.
know of.
You're right. You are right, Rem, to mention that. And maybe maybe for example, some big pieces has been planned beforehand. But from what I see, a big part of them has been done on site. For the Mapan, I heard the guy. He explained me the guy who bought the big piece. He just came. They say, oh, sorry, all the small pieces are already sold out. He said, oh, okay, what is the price for this? Okay, I buy it. So, I mean, the same for Desbis. I think it's really people playing with the machines who's been experiencing this. And basically...
Or who asked the catalog ahead of time that, put an option and a reserve on something, but wanted to see it in person to confirm. You had that as well. I know collectors who did that.
And do you know if most of these collectors was already involved in digital art?
From what I heard, I would say
Mapan, yes.
many of
Mostly.
John Gerard, yes.
Mostly.
No, okay, it's a mix. Yeah, for John Gerard, yes. For Death Beast, from what I heard, yes.
But the big William Mapan, yes, too.
Yeah, but William Mapan, out of the 5 pieces, 2 has been collected from people that looks like out of nowhere, really. That just... from what they told me, it's basically people. They told me one person who discovered William Mapan in Art Basel, Paris, actually, when he did a talk about digital art, and so he discovered that. He came back, and so he bought the piece at this moment. And the second one also that is kind of this kind of Art Basel people, I would say, who collected the piece. So yeah, I think maybe the majority come from our space, and we have a lot of energy is deployed, of course, by Eli and by Redbeard, to generate, they know everybody in the space, they know all the collectors. So of course, they're here also to make it successful, but it's touching also some other people in the same time. And for the exhibitors, they meet also institutions, galleries, museums, and so they have the opportunity, to have also other kind of conversation. We're talking about business, but it's not only sales that is generated on site, basically.
Yeah, of course.
Can we mention a booth that we didn't mention, which actually was one of my favorites, if not my favorite, which is Mimi's booth? Because of I thought like a Leander Herzog piece,
Infinite Garden.
Yes, Infinite Garden, and Andreas Gizin art. It was like the perfect entry point for instance, like Leander's piece was the perfect entry point for people who don't know about the blockchain to actually hear. We're not talking about NFTs. We're talking about the blockchain really used as a medium, like to not understand but grasp what you're looking at, because aesthetically and conceptually is Infinite Gardens is amazing. And then in the meantime, then if you ask about it and they explain to you how it works, they'll have like the master, they call it, like for sale, which was the entire garden. And so like you will buy the actual garden, and then if people like collect the flowers in the garden, your piece will actually be collecting the flowers of other people, collecting, etc., etc. So it's like a collective piece on the blockchain, live, running on the blockchain, that you don't need to go that deep in explanation if you don't want to. It's there for you to look at. Amazing, but also tricks like this, this art on chain kind of experience. And then obviously like Andreas, really, like if you don't know anything about code and how code runs, it's just amazing. It's like, it's beautiful. It's beautifully done. And then if you again ask more, then they can tell you about how it's created. So I thought in the Art Basel, in Basel kind of situation, one of the best entry points for collectors who are not in the space to actually get curious through beauty was the Mimi booth. I thought it had a big function in 010.
Yeah, it's
and also Leander, a nice touch that they had for the banner of 010 outside, like really like pushing communication was. It was like Lenny's piece in the banner, but also they mentioned all the names of the artists that were running. That was very nice. They were running like all the time.
Yeah. No, that they're really they're pushing it and they are playing on this. But time is running, and we just mentioned the main fair that is Art Basel, and it's a big deal, of course. But it's not the only thing that happened in Basel, Eleonora, right?
Yeah, no, not the only one. There was a lot of digital art. It was, I think it was just crazy. If you think about the past years, it was, again, glorious. I thought it would be glorious, and I think that it was glorious. So just for people who don't know, I have been going to Basel only for 3 years because there is digital art in Basel for 3 years. In 2024, Georg with Art Meta and Roger they started this was called Digital Art Mile. So finally, like digital art could have a dedicated space, like an art fair. So 2024 and 2025, and then Art Basel people came to visit the fair quite a few times, and then I believe that Georg had a huge contribution to the city to actually like get attention into digital art fair. And then they started a dialogue last year, like during Art Basel. Art Basel gathered people and they started discussion about digital art in Art Basel. And in 1 year, actually in a few months, because they did it in Miami, but in 1 year, this is what happened. So we had digital art mile is not there anymore, obviously, because when Art Basel comes, then, you know, like if the fair goes to Art Basel, then there's no possibility of like doing like a counter fair or another fair, let's say. So this happened with Art Basel. And for instance, another place that last year wasn't looking like this year was Basel Social Club. So Basel Social Club is actually the counter fair. It's like a reaction of a group of people to mainly how art is experienced in art fairs or like in art institutions, to actually create a space which is more welcoming and people can experience art everywhere. It's amazing. We love it. It was, since the moment I discovered, it was my favorite place. If you didn't go, you should go. Every year they pick a different place and they have a theme. Last year the theme was banks, because it was an like it was a previous bank building. This year was office. It was a previous office, like huge space. And last year, Nina Roers, curator and also curator of Arab Bank, she organized this exhibition called Bankless inside Basel Social Club with pieces that are in the collection of Arab Bank. And so for the first time, like our community had access to this other amazing happening in Basel, you know, like the digital art community. And this year, Nina, who is involved like with the team of Basel Social Club, she brought in 11 galleries, 11 galleries, digital art galleries. So not only you have like 010, but you have Basel Social Club, which is filled with digital art. And again, our people. We had galleries that did both. They did 010 and Basel Social Club. So you understand that it's like, it's not only like the main fair, but it's like it's everywhere. The video that you see here is like Nina giving us a tour. I mean, the experience was amazing. We 100 collectors, we picked Basel Social Club to organize our event, which you know, like we wanted to do something like special. So together with Nina, we thought about inviting like all the digital galleries from Basel Social Club, and for them to bring like the artists that were exhibiting, and one collector to be together with our collectors. The event was supported by OpenSea. And this is, you know, like even to organize an event at Basel Social Club, you don't know what you get. You don't know where it's going to be. You don't know how it looks like. You know that the theme is office. It's very interesting. You know, it's all like pretty much a surprise. So this was, to answer your question, a second main place for digital art to happen in the same week. And then you also had exhibitions around, like we had at the Kunsthalle, we had Cao Fei, the Chinese artist. Right now she's having like a big exhibition at Prada Foundation here in Milan. And then I also went to visit Li Shuang at the Kunsthalle Museum. And you know, yes, that you see here is just the amount of digital artists, like
great show at Heck as well. We had a curatorial tour by
At
Marlene Wagner of the group show. Very, very cool.
Yes, she gave us a private tour of this very nice and experimental digital art exhibition that they have at Heck. And also at Heck, another digital art happening. There was the presentation of Quayola's artwork, an event that they did together with Tezos. So you see, it's like a main fair, side events, but not even organized by us, like by other main like fairs or art institutions happening in Basel.
So yeah, digital was not only in 010.
No.
It was everywhere, I would say.
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
the program, the digital art program, was really pretty huge. And if you really wanted to do everything, you need 1 week, I would say, to explore everything. And you've been organizing visits for everything, basically, from 010 to social club to Heck museum to the morning breakfast in the Kunstmuseum, and in the evening everywhere, basically. So I think it was a good way to be on board. It was to follow 100 collectors everywhere, and to follow actually it was even super intense. So I understand, for people who had to pick up some other stuff, because on top of it you had other things happening, like Punk's brunch or other event like this. um the so it's a big change, I would say. It's a big change for digital art. Just maybe it's something. The only thing that I missed was your dinner, actually. I left too early.
And you
What
missed
was
a lot, John.
can you give us a small few bites of how the 100 collectors event happened?
Yeah, so it was at the Basel Social Club. We were we were in an office space,
Office.
Oh yeah, you have
which
to understand that this year the topic was the office, so it was
yeah,
really looking like the
it was an
It was an
office.
office with
It was
office lights.
and it's what's actually really interesting is a lot of the galleries and artists really play the game, because what they show also is, I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them is linked to the curatorial, thematic, which was the office. So our event was in like a room that really looked like an office, and the thematic of the night was so the collection we would have built together. Um, and we had the galleries showcasing digital art invited with the artists that they were representing. They were also they could invite as well collectors, from the gallery, and then of course we had our members. So that was kind of the selection of people that you had in the room. And we prepared like a little cardboard. Actually, I have one here. I can show you. So it was in an envelope, and we were asking if you could take home one artwork from our Basel week, which would it be? And they could put the artist name, the artwork, the gallery and art fair, and they would say why this artwork. And we kind of gathered all of them. We had something like 32 people did it. So now we are preparing, what's going to be the report, what we're going to be doing with it. We're also not disclosing yet, but we're also talking with OpenSea on how do we disclose it. Because somehow it's, I mean, Ele, you can obviously say a word of what it means, but it was more, let's say, emotional. Like it was not about the market value, or there is people that put a Picasso in there, so so it was also, I mean, maybe they could buy it, I mean, I don't know, but I think I know who put it, and it's more like emotional, and what does it mean to collect together as well.
An intentional collect, and it was so we always create experiences when we do dinners or cocktails or events, and so we thought about this one just to see collectively as a group, if you really could pick an artwork in this week, what it would be, but why. It's also a little bit of a study, so yes, a collection created with intention, but also where is people's attention falling in a week like this. Besides Picasso, we had obviously many people entering with digital art, And I know it's going to be interesting to see the results. It's a little overview on like where the interest of collectors fall into. So for us as a group, it's also like nice to see. Doesn't matter if you bought it, if you could buy it, if you don't have, but like where does your interest fall into? So I'm interested in seeing the results.
So we can expect a release or something.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely we'll have something. But it's I had fun like opening each envelope, reading, taking a photo. I think it's I don't know. It was what you feel really, but I felt it was a beautiful night, like a lot of great energy. And I was not expecting, because I think Friday night was a little ambitious when you see the amount of things we have done and people have done and seen in a week. So I felt it was really the perfect way to close it, and that's really what I felt from people. Like they were super happy to be together and have this mini challenge as well, like to look back, right? Because somehow you're just like a container of seeing, and here you had to step back and saying like, okay, what really stand out for me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's a lot. I have a lot of things, to wrap up this session, but I know that Remy will come with some questions. So Rem, you're on mute.
On the spot, Rem.
Yeah, sorry. It was very interesting. Thank you very much. It was like I was with you at Basel. I have just a small question. I saw a lot of publication on social networks about the fact that in 2025, most of half of the high net worth collectors bought a piece of digital art. And I just want to...
I don't believe it's half. Half of the...
51%.
Yeah, 51%.
Yeah.
It's a new figure for me.
So, yeah, my question is, according to you...
Sure it's 2025? Because I think I've read something that it was taking from a long time before 25.
Oh, yeah? Oh, maybe...
when people bought one NFT, or I don't know, but I don't know if that's this, but I've read something that was kind of challenging the percentage, because it was taking things like for years ago, But I don't know, maybe not.
Okay.
It's interesting. But I just wanted to ask you if it for you is just a curiosity from this kind of collector, or maybe is it a conviction and a market opportunity?
I think like in generally what's happening right now is somehow yes, like sitting down the movement, and it goes back to circle back to what I was saying at the beginning, right? Basel is Basel, and Basel like giving such a big space to digital art is obviously going to bring new people coming in, and people going to start buying their first piece. I think we still have a lot of work to do still. But what we can see, and this I can tell you from, for example, the experience I had here in Art Dubai, right, where it was mostly people who didn't know much about digital art, and they had this art sector for many years, way before Basel, and you do have people collecting contemporary art that came to me and say, yeah, but I mean, how can I start? I just don't know anything. And I think you're going to have a new wave of people that need real guidance, because of course it's something like intimidating. And when you don't know, you just look for the right people to help you dig in, And I think this is creating awareness for sure, and I don't know if it's the 51% is really from this year. If it is, I mean, wonderful and magical, and we are here. And if not, I mean, let's work towards this to happen in 1 year. Yeah, of course, you know.
For me, earlier I wanted to say it's complicated. There isn't. For me, market always comes first, and then comes the interest, not the other way around.
Okay.
Do you know? It's not that all of a sudden people are interested in the history of digital art. The reason for which we have pioneers exhibited in Art Basel is because there has been a trend for like 2 or 3 years for which people are getting obsessed about, like collecting Vermonard or Charles Chury. Not everyone, but many people. So why? Because somehow the market was pushed towards a direction for which an interest is created, and then people just answer unawarely, thinking that they're interested, but actually the market created it for them. Like the Devil Wears Prada, there is a moment where she tells the girl, where Miranda tells the girl that she never picked the dress that she's wearing. They picked it for her 5 years ago. They picked the color 5 years ago, and she doesn't even know about that. She thinks that she doesn't like it, but she doesn't like something that she bought that was already picked for her 5 years ago. That's how I see it. So these percentages of going up and down, I don't know, but for me, it's always a very much controlled. It's always never like a spontaneous.
Institutions as well. I think like the Whitney, Anna Holten, Vera Mona. Like, I think like it's not only the market, but maybe the art world.
But they create the market, and they have it in the Whitney Museum because the market is created. Otherwise, they wouldn't. It's like it's like until an artist doesn't reach a certain market, you're not gonna be put at the Whitney, and vice versa. It's like saying, like Venice Biennale is not a commercial exhibition, but it creates the commerciality for art for the next 2 years. For me.
Yeah.
So
I think what you say is, my feeling, to be transparent, and even these figures illustrate a bit. I don't know if it's 51%. I would say, to make it more simple, I will take the figures from the last Art Basel, the UBS survey, showing that basically proportion of digital art into high net value collections based on the poll that was done out of 3,000 high net worth value moved from 3% in 2021 to 11% in 2025. So the part of digital art inside of a high net worth value collection. And I think it's interesting to mention that, because also my overall feeling is that we have the illusion that we are bringing traditional collectors. But the main things is that we have this high net worth value. What we're talking about these people buying big art, this proportion, actually just the only thing is that our collectors, the crypto bros, I would say, to make it caricaturable, are now integrated into the statistics. So, of course, the average is increasing because now we are part of these people. And so I think, and I think, it made me think about it also, because even if, whatever we said, NFTs are in a kind of a crisis and it's hard and volume are low, but we're still selling for a very high price compared with the, I would say, contemporary art market. A William Mapan selling 5 artworks for 30,000 each. It's a lot compared with maybe some emerging artists who's been practicing in contemporary art for like 15 years. It's a market where, these kind of prices that we have sometimes in digital art, we find these kind of prices more commonly for dead artists, or I don't know, for something that is, much more, much older, I would say,
Established. Mhm.
established. So yeah, it's a market business, and even if we feel like this market is a bit in crisis, it's still a market that presents a big interest for people who are doing this market, and Art Basel is doing this market. And so, I mean, yes, okay, the interest for Art Basel is communication, is
Mhm.
being accurate. But at the end of the day, yeah, it's bringing into their fair people who never been there before, and people with, yeah, rich people, new rich people, basically, who are joining this event. So I think, we are bringing this some collectors, but we are bringing them by buying a lot of pieces during our Basel as well. But it's my
Yeah, and they are building the future. Like they are building the generation of people that will collect, and like the first thing they will collect is digital art. So they are definitely building the foundation for this, I think.
We are building it. They are not building it.
We there all together with all our different
Yeah, but it's
actions.
different, huh? I mean, the fair comes later. They're not building it. It's already built. They're integrating it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's semantic here, but yes, like
yeah. No,
definitely
but I think
they are bringing new people in, whatever we say, way more.
no, but I think it's raising a lot of questions, and I think it's the point about the maturity of, I would say, NFTs and our generation of digital art. Sometimes we say it's early, sometimes we say it's the beginning. Maybe it's already a mature market, actually, and and that's it. This is the market like it is, and like it will be the next 20 years. And
I don't know.
maybe if the fact that we are, maybe it's already there, and that's it. I mean, I ask this provocative question, but I mean, we are the big central stuff in Art Basel for the last three editions. So is it not the highest moment of attention that we can get?
But you are, for me, we are ignoring one interesting part of digital art, which is the fact that it can be everywhere at any time. So we are kind of constraining digital art to be in one place, like a painting, but it could be anywhere. So you have so much potential of growth with digital art that you cannot have with physical art. I don't know. I'm actually having some hope that it can bring art in so much more places, like street art has been doing, but in a way more easier way. But that's my little ambition. Yeah, I think it can go so much bigger and touch so much more people.
Okay, I agree. I think we have the same ambition, but I would say that, because so okay, it just my I've been chatting with a lot of media art collector in Art Basel. I would say from the 90s, and all of them had the same feeling, a bit like blazed, a bit like bored by the market. Like they've been pushing this internet art, new media art, video
Of
art,
course.
whatever, in the 90s. They've been doing exactly what we're doing right now in Basel, being
Of course.
integrated into Art Basel, organizing crazy art show, doing something with the top 10 of these artists. And now they are a bit, they are kind of bittersweet, I would say, about what's happening. They are like, yeah, nothing new. Where, yeah, okay, it's just one more trend that will collapse in few years. okay, just money stuff, but then we'll forget it, like we forgot in a way, even if it's not. But for them, there are some historical artists that are still not into history, and I think it's interesting because it's maybe the third cycle of digital art after the Vera Molnar time. So yeah.
But here I have a little hope too, though. Like a John first because it's already happening, so we can learn and do different. But also because like Pauline calls it, it's digital art and it can be everywhere, which is true. And I say that we have the blockchain. I'm really like, I believe in this thing. It's not, you're not gonna take it from me. So it's the only time that we have a technology for distribution. It's not AI, it's the blockchain. So there is a way to, like, you can't stop decentralization, whatever, distribution. So it has to be different than net art. It will. It can be the same thing because you have a technology that for the first time is supporting the phenomenon. Like internet was supposed to be decentralized, but didn't have a technology behind that was supporting the decentralization. But NFTs, whatever, digital art today, tokenized, does have also not only the principles, but also a technology that can support that. So while Art Basel things can happen, in the meantime, you have you have nodes, like a computational power. So that I believe it can make it different. So I have hope too, in fact.
No, I believe it's interesting. I think it's but I think it's where I'm wondering because I'm thinking about what's next also with Art Basel, for example. And okay, right now everybody is excited. To be honest, everybody is already talking about Miami in December. Because they won't be in Paris. So the next one is basically Miami. And then I think so they will keep the same cycle for 2027, 6, 7. So Miami, Hong Kong, Basel. But yeah, can we... I'm just wondering, I think we will have few things happening, but I really believe that we will have maybe 2 years very exciting with Art Basel, but then we will realize that maybe some people have been sensibilized, I would say, to digital art, but at the end of the day, everybody is playing for his bag. And this is really what I believe. This is what I felt when I saw, all these, really, I've been talking with a lot of people who are expert into digital art, but the OGs, really, and they really don't see, they don't want to say it frankly because they are involved also with Art Basel, but they're really feel you like you have not invented anything, and that you are just just doing speculation. You still have this, it's just like, yeah, okay, it's a market, okay, it's speculation, okay, yeah, you guys are doing some interesting things, but nothing new since the 20th century.
But you have it on the blockchain. We have it on the blockchain. It's a difference.
This is what we, I did actually I did a tweet about it more or less yesterday, that I say that my takeaway is that, yeah, we know we are not saying, the NFT people are not saying anymore that we invented everything. So we know we assume the affiliation with digital art history. But on the other hand, the establishment is, for me, far to admit that the blockchain is a key milestone in digital history. And I think this is
because most people don't understand, John. That's the thing. Most people do not grasp what it is and what it means and what it does.
But I don't believe these people will change. This is my key takeaway.
But somehow it's okay, because like this we can still build like the thing that we believe will be the future, and you can. It doesn't mean thing and one acceptation on the right side means that you need to give
You
up
know
on
what I mean is,
acceptance.
I'm wondering, could you see some PFPs at Art Basel?
But why would PFPs need to be at Art Basel?
With Tabor, we had the Basel
True.
Social Club. You had PFPs with
That is true.
Danae.
10,000.
Which
Uh,
which project?
Let me try to find it. From Danae.
So it was with Danae Gallery. Tabor, I don't remember the surname. He created like 10,000 PFPs, also with physical photographies, but they're tokenized on the blockchain. It just tried to make a PFP project that will grow organically. So it didn't create like groups, but then people really asked for it.
I'll send you, John. You can share.
It was obviously a fun take on PFPs. So to answer you, there was not like board apes, like on Basel. Thank you, Jesus. But like...
No, but I'm not talking about, okay, maybe not Bored Ape, but why not CryptoPunk? Why not...
CryptoPunks are everywhere. Everywhere.
So what?
It's not that they're not at Art Basel. There was a branch there everywhere. It's what everyone's like. The CryptoPunks are very present, I believe. Where is Pauline?
Pauline left. Pauline is back.
Oh,
sorry. I'm back.
Yeah. Okay. So let me show the PFP. Kaufei, Kunstmuseum, Basel.
I sent it to you only, John.
Yeah, okay. I'm lost. Okay, I will display it, when I find it. Oh yeah, I got it. So then I tweet. Okay, no, I'm just, I'm taking the example of PFPs because it's.
I think you could have PFPs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the project.
Because my feeling is that we don't, especially here, we didn't want to see this kind of project in 010.
Yeah, of course. It's the same thing like the bubbles. It was not the place for this kind of project. They killed it.
Yeah, because, it's a moment where we want to buy some legitimacy, I would say. And, to buy some legitimacy, we need to look like what they already know. This is the thing.
But we said this at the beginning. It was precisely this in Basel. So, yeah, I mean, yes.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, what I was trying to tell you is that when you have a technology like the blockchain, in the meantime, the technology is working. So no matter what happens in the marketing or events or things, you have a permanence that was never happening before. It's only about permanence or trading. You have a technology that is supporting the concept. It never happened before the blockchain to have a thing like this. So if everything disappears from marketing or from art fairs and 010, you still have not only the record, but like it's like you're building two parallel worlds, one is like on Earth and the other one is the computational power. But it's true, it never happened. So you are for sure knowing that in the meantime, you're building something. I believe in this.
That's the nuance you're talking about in the building world. Sorry.
Okay. I agree. And I think it's interesting. So let's see how the future will be. And
so cheer up.
Cheer up.
This is good. Yeah, this is good.
The blockchain is good. We have Eleonora positive and happy. Everyone should be, you know.
Yeah, I'm
I
positive
want to.
when there is need to be positive. Yes,
For the
we have the blockchain.
The blockchain.
I wanted to wake up the negative side of Eleonora, but
No.
she's really.
Not gonna happen.
No, it's too hot. Maybe I'm a little like, No,
So-
everyone, no, I'm a blockchain believer. That you cannot take from me. So it's not,
No, but also, I think it's, to be honest, it gave us a lot of enthusiasm, last week. It's exciting, seeing all these people,
Yeah.
all these things happening,
course.
all this energy. It's everybody was happy, everybody's excited, everybody's already projecting what's next. So yeah, I think it's exciting for everybody to see how things are going, and so because it's more than 1 hour that we've been together. What's next for 100?
For me, we are at the right place at the right time.
Good to sit like that.
Very positive morning. Very positive.
Good morning.
So yeah. So what's next with 100 Collector, Pauline?
I don't know.
Are you taking a?
No, we are doing. The summer is coming, right? So we are doing groundwork. There is a lot of things that you see us mostly in events and so on, but there is a lot of work behind all of this. So yeah, we're gonna start preparing the second half of the year, but the summer is on all the groundwork, CRM and a lot of other things that we need to work on. If not, the whole machine doesn't work. So some more vibe coding, some partners outreach. We're gonna contact all the collectors as well for this website we started for collectors to showcase 6 works of their collection with you'll get an email, John. But basically, yeah, we're pushing our members to do that for the summer when to be able to also be on the directory, because we had a lot of people during those weeks. These weeks are for us amazing because we had something like 27 or 30 members who came last week. So it's absolutely amazing to
37.
We had so much great feedback as well on things we want to start working on or things we should improve, or so this is a bit like step back and look at what we can do better, look at what we could do else, and strategize as well. So yeah, to be
preparing next year. I see.
Yeah, exactly.
And what is the next event? So for people who are part of what is in September? Do you have a freeze or something like this? What's next?
You have we'll see if we do something for Freeze London, but we are looking into doing Paris Photo, Art Basel Paris, looking into Marfa as well, Art Basel Miami, Freeze Abu Dhabi, and I think that's it.
It's a good start. We'll start to book ticket flight for the end of the year.
Please,
Can't even think about it.
Give us a break, Give us some time. Yeah.
No, that's nice. Just wanted to thank you for all of this. For people following the NFT morning, actually tomorrow we have the artist Felix.
Nice.
New release. We really like him. So he will talk about his new project. So will be super interesting. And thank you again, 100 Collector. I believe we may have another podcast in a month from now, end of next month, if everything is going well. So have a great day.
Thank you.
Have a great.
Thank you for having us.
No,
Yes.
thank you very much. Try to take a rest.
Bye.
See you, everybody, and good morning.
Morning.
Happy. Good morning. Really happy. Good morning.